G'day everyone, my name is Mark. I'm a Kiwi rugby fan who's living in Cancun, Mexico, and I'm making videos about the wonderful game of rugby. Now in this video I'm going to be talking more about the Owen Farrell saga because there has been an update in the last few hours about that. So in the last few hours we've heard that World Rugby is indeed appealing against the decision of the IJC, the Independent Judiciary Committee, that made the decision to overturn the ruling against Owen Farrell that gave him a red card in the game against Wales last weekend at Twickenham. And now there's going to be another step in the process. So I'm going to talk about that in this particular video. Now if you're a rugby fan and you've been living under a rock for the last few days, you might not have heard that Owen Farrell was sent off first of all with a yellow card against Wales for a dangerous tackle against Tane Basham in the game against Wales last weekend. Now after that yellow card was given, it was reported to the bunker system that was on location at the game. They had 8 minutes to review that particular incident and they decided to submit a red card to Owen Farrell, so he left the game permanently. As a result of that, the red card was then put forward to an international judicial or an independent judicial committee, and Farrell had to wait for his fate, which came down on Tuesday when they said he was free of any punishment because it wasn't deemed to be a dangerous tackle. So there's been a furor by a lot of people around the world against this decision, and I'm just wondering whether World Rugby has taken that into account, because I'm sure if they spent more than 5 minutes on YouTube alone they would have seen the online rugby community around the world getting very upset about what actually happened in the face of the judicial system within World Rugby. So World Rugby has now stepped up and said they're going to appeal the decision, and let's read their actual statement now. It reads, World Rugby has today confirmed to the Rugby Football Union and Six Nations Rugby that it will exercise its right to appeal in regard to the Owen Farrell disciplinary decision following a careful review of the Independent Judicial Committee's full written decision received on 16th of August. World Rugby fully supports the important role that an independent disciplinary process plays in upholding the integrity and values of the sport, particularly regarding foul play involving head contact. Player welfare is the sport's #1 priority, and the head contact process is central to that mission at the elite level of the sport. Having considered the full decision, World Rugby considers an appeal to be warranted. In line with provisions set out under Regulation 17, an independent appeal committee will be appointed to determine the matter at the earliest possible opportunity. Further details regarding the hearing, including appointments and date, will be confirmed by Six Nations Rugby. There's one point in that statement that concerns me a little bit, and that's the reference only to elite sports players. I think that the whole situation of injury within rugby does not only include elite rugby players, it's all across the rugby community, at grassroots level, at schoolboys level, and at academy level as well. So referencing only the elite sports players, I know it's a little thing, but for me it's a big thing. We've got to be protecting rugby players, whether they be your sons and daughters going out there in the weekend and playing as well. So there needs to be an emphasis on this particular ruling across all levels of rugby, in my opinion. Let me know what you think about that. Okay, so World Rugby is now going to appeal. And the big thing here is that they have to show enough evidence to be able to overturn this ruling. So it's certainly not a case of it's in the bag to get Owen Farrell punished for this. It's going to be a case of they're going to have to come up, World Rugby are going to have to come up with some very good evidence to show that the mitigating circumstances put forward by the Independent Judicial Committee actually have no relevance, and that there is a dangerous tackle and there was intent towards the head here from Owen Farrell. So it's going to be an interesting process. The timeline at this stage is unknown. It's supposed to be done as quickly as humanly possible, so I don't know exactly what that means in the world of rugby, but Owen Farrell has been stood down from this weekend's squad for England against Ireland being played in Dublin. So we'll have to wait and see. I will keep you up with developments right here on Inside Rugby on what's happening with the Owen Farrell case. And it's good to see that World Rugby, we have to give acknowledgement where it's due, but I'm just wondering whether it's because of the global pressure and noise that surrounded this first decision that World Rugby have actually stood up. But let's give them the benefit of the doubt on this occasion. They are taking it forward, and we are going to see whether this decision can be overturned and Owen Farrell will be sitting on the sidelines for some period of time, heading up to and including some of the pool stages in this year's Rugby World Cup in France. So it's a big news story in the world of rugby. A lot of people are following it. Let me know what your view is, because I don't want to just talk about Owen Farrell in this topic. I want to talk about the system. We've got a judicial committee that's got a question mark over it now. We've got a bunker system that's got a question mark over it, and we've got a referee decision that's got a question mark over it. All of those things should be in the topic of discussion, I feel, around this particular subject. So let's not bash Owen Farrell too much. We all know that he's obviously done something wrong, but I want to talk about the importance of the precedent that's being set around this particular case when it comes to the process and the system that World Rugby itself put into place to try and stop this exact thing from happening. So I'd like to hear your views and opinions about that. Let me know what you think in the comments around the processes. Does the bunker system work? Obviously in this case it didn't, but is it a good thing? Should it stay? And should it be given the power to make a final decision on this? Let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, that's it for this short video. Thank you very much for watching my channel. Please hit that little subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you again in another video right here from Inside Rugby. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and enjoy your rugby, everybody. Bye for now.